Eclipse season is upon us. Eclipses are a special time because they are aligned with the lunar nodes of collective fate and destiny. Whatever has been brewing beneath the surface will be revealed in unexpected and dramatic ways. This is especially true when we consider that Uranus stations retrograde at the beginning of the month, amplifying its themes of sudden change, reversal, and revelation. This is especially true when Uranus is in the mutable air sign of the Twins, representing the duality in all things. Eclipses always come in pairs. Solar eclipses occur with new moons, while lunar eclipses occur with full moons. Together, they create cycles of endings and beginnings. Remember, there are no endings, only new beginnings. Eclipses are nothing to fear. They are powerful course correctors. If something ends, trust that it was time. Like a snake sheds its skin, as we evolve, we outgrow certain relationships, environments, and connections that no longer serve our highest good. 2025 is the year of the snake, after all. In numerology, it's a 9-year, representing change, transformation, and growth. A snake must shed its skin in order to continually grow. If something new is beginning, trust that it's aligned. You are on the right path. Fated shifts are unfolding. Let go of what's falling apart. Release any egoic urges to resist, chase, or control. Stop forcing what isn't working. You just can't fit a square peg into a round hole. Make space for the new path that's unfolding and trust it. What's meant to stay will strengthen. What's meant to leave will dissolve. Redirection is divine protection. Everything is happening for you, not to you. Take greater accountability for your healing. Do you want to stay stuck on this timeline? Or do you want to get out of the matrix? Do you want to keep having these karmic patterns or experiences? Or is it finally time to get off the merry-go-round? We can anticipate more unpredictable shifts and changes, amplified by Uranus retrograde in Gemini, fated endings and beginnings, clarity through truth-revealing chaos, trust in the unknown as we work through fears of it, fatigue and disrupted sleep, heightened emotions, amplified by Saturn's return to 29 degrees Pisces and the grand water trine, and sudden clarity. Affirm with me. I surrender to the flow of the universe. I trust in divine timing. What's meant for me will stay. What's not meant for me will naturally fall apart. I need not do anything at all, but sit still with my emotions and trust the process. The only way out is through. Hello, and welcome back to Jay Kerner for Astrology. Today, we're going to explore and unpack the astrology for September 2025, day by day. Monday, September 1st, 2025, Labor Day here in the United States of America. Saturn retrograde returns to 29 degrees Pisces, bringing us back to depth and bringing back a theme of catastrophic flooding that we've seen since Saturn first ingressed into Pisces in March 2023. This also brings up themes of grief and loss. People may be passing away, and relationships may be coming to an end. It'll bring greater compassion and empathy for others, and truths may be revealed to you through dreams. Allow music to hit some deeper chords. You'll be challenged to question what is illusion and what is reality, and you'll be called to bring your dreams into tangible reality. Saturn 29 degrees Pisces is associated with flooding and disease, especially when Saturn and Neptune are in close conjunction traveling together. We may see themes of disasters at sea and restrictions around shipping, travel, and immigration, especially where boundaries, borders, seas, and oceans are concerned. Saturn will retrograde all the way back to 25 degrees Pisces, bringing us much needed relief from our introduction to Saturn in Aries, Saturn's sign of debilitation. The next 6 months will be a reflection of this challenging debilitation in Aries that we've been introduced to. And collectively, we'll all be returning to things that we were dealing with while Saturn was in Pisces from March 2023 until May 2025. Here are some important upcoming dates for Saturn's retrograde. Saturn will station direct 25 degrees Pisces on November 27th, 2025. Saturn returns to Aries February 14th, 2026. Aries, as we mentioned, is Saturn's sign of debilitation. So Saturn experiences weakened expression whenever it travels through the sign of the Ram. This brings a deep need to prove oneself, especially where identity, independence, and self-sovereignty are concerned. Saturn aligns with Neptune, 0 degrees Aries, activating that world access degree, finally, on February 20th, 2026. Saturn is retrograding currently on fixed star Sheet, 29 degrees Pisces, which is associated with extreme misfortune, disease, and drowning. Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, Mercury ingresses into Virgo, and Mercury will be in Virgo, its sign of Earth domicile, so strong in rulership, from September 2nd until September 18th. Mercury travels very fast through its home signs. Now, Mercury is especially strong since it's traveling not only through its sign of Earth domicile, but through the first sign since it completed its retrograde. And we have a Mercury Cazimi coming up. This is strengthening everything in Virgo, which at the beginning of the month is the Sun and the south node of karmic fate and destiny. We're releasing control, patterns of perfectionism and overthinking that lead to analysis paralysis. Ground down through maintaining your physical spaces, your home and work environment. You can declutter, reorganize, get down to the basics, the foundation. This is about the elegance of the details in designing your routine and your day. Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025, Mercury's day. We have a grand water trine, a long-term grand water trine due to Jupiter's upcoming retrogradation between Jupiter, 18 degrees Cancer on fixed star Wasat, the north node of fate and destiny, 18 degrees Pisces, and Black Moon Lilith, 17 to 18 degrees Scorpio. The trine aspect is of the nature of Jupiter, so it will expand the energy. And it's a grand water trine, so this is going to be a highly creative and highly emotional upcoming few months. It's expanding our emotions, intuition, creativity, and compassion. One caveat here, although this is a very favorable, harmonious aspect in which all of these planets and asteroid Black Moon Lilith are in the same element, water, representing a harmonious flow, the 18th degree has a diabolical nature to it, one that's related to addiction and collective health crisis. The north node of collective fate and destiny will be 18 degrees Pisces all month, and the south node of karmic collective fate and destiny will be 18 degrees Virgo all month. So I'll be putting out a shorter video unpacking the diabolical nature of the 18th degree. Stay tuned. As you may recall from prior videos in which I share my own natal chart by example, I have Saturn in its sign of Earth domicile, so strong in rulership, 18 degrees Capricorn. So these themes, this energy, is a big part of my personality. It's a part of my path, and I feel uniquely positioned to share that with you in the collective. Now, Jupiter on fixed star Wasat, 18 degrees Cancer. This is from the last week of August until about mid-September, that it'll be exact, and then it'll be within a 1 to 2 degree orb of that energy for the rest of September. Wasat is associated with chemicals, poison, gas, violence, malevolence, destructiveness, and pessimism. Wasat is fixed around 18 degrees Cancer, and Jupiter's exaltation in the sign of Cancer serves to emphasize or strengthen that energy. Also on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025, Mercury's day, Mercury, 1 degree Virgo, squares off against Uranus, 1 degree Gemini, right before Uranus stations retrograde. This brings brilliant, out-of-the-box ideation, sudden downloads, shocking revelations, and truth coming to light. It's the lower mind, Mercury, versus the higher mind, Uranus. This pits logic versus intuition, and challenges you to think about how balanced those two functions are within yourself. Then, on Thursday, September 4th, 2025, aka Thor's or Jupiter's day, Mars, 18 degrees Libra, squares off against Jupiter, 18 degrees Cancer on fixed star Wasat. The square aspect is of the nature of Mars, which brings a crusading element, pitting two forces with strong convictions against one another. This creates an internal pressure point that propels change. At the 18th degree, a collective health crisis proves to be a reflection of December 2020 to November 2021. If you can read between the lines, you know what I mean. Then, on Saturday, September 6th, 2025, Uranus, the Great Awakener, begins its retrograde cycle for the next 6 months. Uranus stations retrograde 1 degree 27 arc minutes of Gemini, and Uranus is on the cusp of two signs, Gemini and Taurus. This amplifies Uranian themes: sudden change, reversal, revelation, and curveballs thrown by the universe. Uranus isn't a bad guy. Uranus seeks to liberate us from the shackles of stagnation, from the confines of our comfort zones. Uranus wants to realign you with your highest self, path, and authenticity. A new boss, job, or work environment brings changes that may be more to your liking. Or conversely, circumstances may be pushing you out the door, forcing you to look for fresh new paths and alternatives that are much more aligned with who you truly are. There will be themes of extreme weather and weather modification. We can anticipate automated drone delivery by the end of Uranus's transit through Gemini, so by 2032. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have flying cars by then as well. You can anticipate shocks, surprises, and truth coming to light this week. Awakening, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. We may also see a theme of network disruptions. We may see cyber attacks, disruptions to power grids, disruptions to aviation, and disruption to trains. Now for the important upcoming dates for Uranus retrograde. Uranus retrograde returns to Taurus, 29 degrees Taurus on November 7th, 2025. This same day that Venus in Scorpio squares off against Pluto in Aquarius, so anticipate some market volatility. Uranus stations direct, 27 degrees, 27 arc minutes of Taurus on February 3rd, 2026. And Uranus re-enters Gemini on April 25th, 2026. This is when Uranus will begin to make forward progress through the sign of the highly adaptable twins until August 3rd, 2032. Now remember how I said Uranus is on the cusp of Gemini and Taurus and will be retrograding back to Taurus? Well, Uranus retrograde was last on the cusp of Gemini and Taurus and was retrograding all the way back to the 27th degree of Taurus on December 7th, 1941, during the attack on Pearl Harbor. This was an event that forced U.S. involvement in a global conflict. On Sunday, September 7th, 2025, we have our full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces, 15 degrees, 22 arc minutes of Pisces. This is a north node lunar eclipse, so it brings on fated events due to the presence of the north node of fate and destiny. It'll take us all the way back to intentions set under the new moon in Pisces on February 27th, 2025, which was 9 degrees, 40 arc minutes, Pisces. We're releasing illusions, letting go of escapism and addictions. We're prioritizing our inner peace. We're releasing control and trading it for faith. We're letting go of expectations. We're following our intuition and we're looking to our dreams for messages. Remember to trust the process. Go with the flow. Pisces is a water sign, after all. Mercury, the Sun, and the south node of karmic fate and destiny are all aligned on fixed star Mizar, 15 degrees, 42 arc minutes of Virgo. This star is associated with fires of a catastrophic extent, and this part of the sky is activated and spotlighted by the Sun annually around the 11th of September. This is the first of 2 eclipses in our eclipse season. Then on Saturday, September 13th, 2025, we have a Mercury cazimi, a rebirth, featuring an alignment of Mercury, the Sun, and the south node of karmic fate and destiny, 20 degrees, 54 arc minutes of Virgo. This is another moment of purification, tethering into the material, allowing what's spiritual and creative to manifest physically. It's happening on fixed star Denebola, 21 degrees Virgo, which is associated with natural disasters of a catastrophic extent, undesirable associates, and it amplifies themes of criticism and control. Then on Sunday, September 14th, 2025, we have a last quarter moon, 21 degrees Gemini. This lunar phase can stir up resentment, anger, and negativity as the moon in Gemini activates its closing square to the Sun in Virgo. It's happening on fixed star Bellatrix, which is located on Orion's left shoulder. This is associated with accidents, sudden falls from grace, and loquaciousness. Then on Thursday, September 18th, 2025, Mercury ingresses into Libra. Mercury will be in Libra from September 18th until October 18th this year, spending just a little more time in the sign of the scales of balance. Mercury is happy in its fellow air sign, and on September 18th only, it's answering to Venus in Leo, Venus 29 degrees Leo, to be exact. 29 degrees is a critical degree. Crisis leads to catharsis, and answering to Venus, a crisis in our relationships, a crisis in money, a crisis in love, all things ruled by Venus, leads to catharsis and healing. 29 degrees is where fixed star Regulus is located, aka the heart of the lion, known as the most royal star, the healing angel, Raphael, the watcher of the north. Regulus is associated with royalty, nobility, power, status, and leadership, and it also represents sudden falls from grace, accidents, and violence. From September 19th until October 6th, Mercury in Libra will be in mutual reception, so working closely with Venus in Virgo, essentially fusing their themes together. Libra is ruled by Venus, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so they've traded rulers. They're in cahoots. The very next day, Friday, September 19th, 2025, Venus Day, Venus ingresses into Virgo. Venus will be in Virgo from September 19th until October 13th, 2025. The two will be in mutual reception until October 6th. Venus is debilitated or experiences weakened expression in Virgo. So there's still more purification coming. Themes include strained relationships, financial concerns, and challenges to our self-worth and our confidence. We'll be expressing love through acts of service and quality time. Venus in Virgo dates with intention. Love must make sense and also have a purpose. Watch for being overly critical or nitpicky of partners, and watch for thought overriding emotion. Don't block the flow. A quest for perfection may cause relationships to end. And you can ask any Virgo moon, this is something they struggle with. Watch for patterns of codependency or excessive dependency within relationships. And watch for getting entangled in and consumed by the small things. Don't lose sight of the big picture. Someone may not be expressing their desires fully within a relationship. Marriages and relationships will be tested to their breaking point. Collectively, we'll be gravitating toward more holistic healing modalities. Acupuncture, nutrition with a whole foods, minimally processed diet, and yoga, to name a few examples. We're not done with Virgo energy yet. Venus in Virgo will be in mutual reception with Mercury in Libra from September 19th until October 6th. On Sunday, September 21st, 2025, we have the second of 2 consecutive new moons in Virgo. The new moon solar eclipse, 29 degrees Virgo. This is a big deal. This is considered a black moon. This second consecutive new moon in Virgo amplifies themes of healing, alignment, and growth. Double Virgo energy means double clarity, and this one's going to be potent. It's happening at a critical degree. Crisis leads to catharsis, especially coming out of Mercury retrograde and on the heels of a Mercury cazimi in Mercury's sign of Earth domicile. Refine your path as you commit to long-term changes and transformation. Refine your path as you commit to long-term, lasting change and transformation. A fresh path unfolds, so focus on your goals. Ground down through a whole foods, minimally processed diet, walks in nature, meditation, decluttering, and reorganizing your physical spaces. This is about fine-tuning the details to strengthen foundations. This 29th degree will put great pressure on technological systems. We're becoming wiser to the societal forces that seek to influence, control, or otherwise govern us. This could mark the beginning of a financial crisis that unfolds, peaking on and around November 7th, 2025. This black moon in Virgo is happening on fixed star Markeb, located 28 degrees, 54 arc minutes, Virgo. It's associated with voyages, education, and piety. This new moon will complete 6 months from now under the full moon total lunar eclipse on March 3rd, 2026, 12.5 degrees Virgo. On Monday, September 22nd, 2025, we have our autumnal equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere, and the sun ingressing into Libra. Annually, whenever the sun reaches 29 degrees Virgo, it happens moments prior to the autumnal equinox. So we have a black moon, a new moon, right before this. This is when light and darkness are equal. The end of an old system brings the beginning of a new one. The sun ingressing into Libra, judgment is upon us. Libra represents the scales of balance and justice. This is why it's represented by the judgment card in tarot. Libra is symbolized by Mahat, ancient Egyptian god responsible for weighing the scales of balance, the souls of those who descended into the underworld for purity. The sun is considered to be weakened in Libra, and it's answering to Venus, which is weakened in Virgo, which is in mutual reception with Mercury in Libra until October 6th. The sun is considered to be weakened in Libra because the sun's core values of individuality, self-expression, ego, and authority clash with Libra's focus on the other, partnership, harmony, and compromise. Also happening on Monday, September 22nd, 2025, Mars ingresses into Scorpio, its sign of water domicile. So Mars will be very, very strong, and Scorpio energy will be strong. This is from September 22nd until November 4th, 2025. All of Libra season. This Libra season will feel much more like Scorpio season as a result. We'll all be embracing intensity, transformation, and we'll be plunging into the depths of our psyches to do some healing. On Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, we have another difficult transit. Mars, 1 degree Scorpio, squares off against Pluto retrograde, 1 degree Aquarius. Mars, strong in rulership in its sign of water domicile, transforms through intensity and conflict. It can have destructive tendencies when faced with resistance. Themes include confronting power struggles, deep-seated fears, and control issues. Squaring off against Pluto retrograde in Aquarius while Pluto is out of bounds for the next couple months. Dynamic tension and intense conflict between the collective forces, ideologies, societal expectations, technological systems that seek to control us, and our deepest desires, personal drives, and motivations. Although it's a challenging aspect, this challenge is what propels change. Something has to give. Then on Monday, September 29th, 2025, we have a first quarter moon, 1 degree Capricorn. This creates dynamic tension between goal and work-oriented Capricorn moon and the balance and relationship-focused Libra sun. This creates a pull between personal ambitions and our connections with others. The first quarter moon is when challenges begin to arise, requiring us to make important decisions and take action on the intentions that were set during the preceding new moon 1 week prior. That concludes our September astrology. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below, and I will make more monthly astrological transit videos to help you prepare for each month. Thank you for watching. If you're still with me, you're a real one. Drop your current most used emoji in the comments. If you took anything away from this video, we ask that you like, comment, share the content, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, we know that you'll enjoy the full playlist and this additional video. Thank you so much, love you, and see you soon.